Do my hands look like they belong to such a cold-blooded killer? Yes! Why don't you feel them for yourself, Sheriff? You'll find they're soft, warm, and ever so gentle. Stop! But
why are we helping out? Well, it's rare that someone goes missing around here, and I'm sure you want to find her as soon as possible.
your teeth are awfully sharp, my good man. Your eyes are awfully red. You wouldn't happen to be a vampire. His expression shifts to something much warmer, but also slightly wolfish. He reaches up slowly and puts a hand on my shoulder, his fingers brushing my neck slightly. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I am David, and today I want to try and play the full game of Crimson Spires. I have come to believe that the whole world is an enigma, a harmless enigma that is made terrible by our own mad attempt to interpret it as though it had an underlying truth. Umberto Eco. Foucault's Pendulum.
Huh?
Okay. Is that a real quote? Is that a real person? I'll have to look that up later. Oh no, we're in a car at the start of a visual novel. That can't be good. On a brisk autumn evening, the drive from Cape Girardeau to St. Louis feels like my reward for a job well done. The air is sharp and crisp. Colors dance before my eyes from the shifting sunset. It all seems so perfect and peaceful until I realize that I'm driving a car in a visual novel. This is Special Agent Wright. I'm currently driving on the interstate, so please call back unless this is urgent.
Erika, thank God.
Chief Morris, I can give you a full report of the trial tomorrow morning. Right now, as I said, I'm driving. This is dangerous. Can't be taking calls when I'm driving.
Yes, I know how you feel about vehicle safety, but this is urgent. Where are you right now?
I'm on my way to St. Louis. I can't give you an exact location right now, but I passed Perryville approximately 10 minutes ago, and my speed is...
Close enough. A prisoner transport van crashed near your location. A team is on the way, but you're a lot closer.
I understand. Who's the prisoner in transport?
August Flynn.
Oh! Not August Flynn! He better not be hot! Ah! My hand tightened on the steering wheel, and the car swerved slightly. Do you mean the serial killer? The heartbreaker?
That's the one.
Mailed.
Let the records show that on this day, the 10th of September, I got Erika Wright to curse in French.
This isn't the time for jokes, Morris. What's the van's location?
Erika is ticked.
Morris's info sends me even deeper into the woods of rural Missouri, down winding roads, past miles of farmland to a small town called Bataille. As I approach the town, what the... I forgot there was monsters. Or did the monster help me? I can't remember. I swerved to the shoulder, barely in time to keep from hitting some sort of large creature. It was too big to be a deer. Could it have been a bear? My heart is racing. I struggled to catch my breath. If I had reacted a second later, both the Emerald and I might be dead. In any case, I managed to avoid a crash, and avoiding the cliché of riding a car in a visual novel. And time is of the essence, so I resumed driving. I still don't know what that thing is. I don't know what the shenanigans of this game are. I don't get much further before I see it. A crunched van leans face first against the side of the road. Metal and glass debris cover the ground in all directions. What could have crashed a car like this? The van shouldn't have been driving very fast. Why was the transport van in Battaille in the first place? It's also strange, and I suddenly wish I had kept Morris on the phone to ask more questions. But I don't have time for such curiosity now. Lives are at stake. Oh yeah. 3D movement? I'm not used to that. Alright, what do we got here? Dead body? Another dead body? I see that the doors of the van are wrenched open. Splatters of blood gleam in the smashed interior. Below the open door, the body of a federal marshal lies limp. I see several dead bodies around the van. It's probable they died from injuries in the crash, but one of them... I lean down to examine his injuries. His neck is red and scraped. It seems like he was strangled to death. August Flynn did this. You sure about that? My hand goes to my gun. I straighten back up, and I scan the area. I see a small splash of blood several yards away. Perhaps August, or another survivor, fled the crash while wounded. A blinding flash of lightning splits the sky. Thunder shakes the earth right after, punching my eardrums. I see the silhouette of a large mansion on a hill in the distance. No time for sightseeing. A dangerous killer's on the loose. That's totally not any kind of foreshadowing. All right. What do we got here? Where are the clues? Was the clues and the evidence? Oh yeah, blood spatter. Wait, this blood. This blood that's glowing bright red. Wasn't the guy in here a jerk? The trail is sparse, but I follow the specks of blood to a small liquor shop. I rap on the door with the fastest flurry of knocks I can muster. FBI, please open the door. This is Special Agent Erika Wright with The door wrenches open. On the other side stands a gruff, disheveled man in his 50s. I flash my badge at him. Steve, I'm gonna need you to cooperate, Steve. FBI? What the heck are you doing here? Sir, were you aware of a crash just down the road? What crash? I guess I heard something. Thought it was thunder. And what did you think the people screaming, "Oh, please don't kill me," were? Sir, has anyone suspicious or unfamiliar come to your shop within the last 15 minutes? Just some FBI agent banging on the door after hours. Come on, Steve. I swallow my frustration and conclude that this man will be of no help to me whatsoever. A dangerous criminal is in the area. Please remain indoors and alert authorities if you encounter a Caucasian male in his 30s with blonde hair. A Caucasian man in his 30s with blonde hair, you say? Any criminal I meet can say hello to the Remington 12 gauge I keep at the desk. Thank you for your concern, officer, but I'll be just fine on my own. He shuts the door in my face. Well, what if I wanted to buy some Angry Orchard? Sir? You probably don't even have my favorite brand of beers. The sky grumbles. I look up. A heavy wave of rain rushes to the earth. The blood was hard enough to see in the dark. Now it's hopeless. Clearly August was headed away from the town. I doubt he'd go into the woods during a storm, so all I can do is head down the highway. Just as I'm about to leave the liquor store...
Agent Wright! You're here. Oh, thank God.
Chris Renfield! A familiar man emerges from behind the store. I recognize him as Bradley Jones, a federal marshal I've worked with on a few cases. Spoiler, but don't get too attached to Brad. He was likely one of the officers transporting August, and the only one to survive the crash. It's good to see you, Jones. Catch me up on what's going on here.
We pulled up at a gas station just outside of Bataille. Just as we were pulling out, something... I think a bear appeared next to the van.
A bear?
I know it sounds crazy, but something was definitely there. Finley, the driver, he started to have a panic attack.
He's like, that ain't no bear! That's no bear!
He thought it was chasing us.
Bears don't usually chase cars.
We tried to get him to calm down, but he wouldn't stop speeding. I offered to drive, but he refused to stop. Someone grabbed the wheel. It might have been me. Then everything went black. I woke up. Finley, Miller, Gant. They were all dead. I guess I was the lucky one.
And August Flynn?
Gone. I think he killed Gant and escaped. Don't know why he spared me. Maybe he thought I was dead.
We have to find him.
Thought he might be hiding behind the store. He definitely didn't head into town, and there's nothing that way for miles.
More agents are on their way. We'll canvass the woods when we can.
Well, if I'm gonna sit here and wait for him, not after what that monster did to Gant.
I wasn't planning on waiting. Every minute he gets further away. Are you okay to keep going?
My head hurts, but nothing I can't deal with.
It's gonna hurt a lot more in a few minutes. Sorry to spoil it, but it's kind of funny at this point. He's on foot, and he's injured. He was headed this way, so I hope we can catch up.
Thanks for the help, Agent Wright. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh.
Well, I guess until the cavalry arrives, it's just the two of us.
Then let's get to work. Aww. We search the nearby road and woods, but we find no more signs of the Heartbreaker. Meanwhile, Jones is more injured than he's letting on, dragging a foot behind him. I start to wonder if he left the trail of blood himself. If so, are we even going in the right direction? I suggest we return to my car and continue the search by vehicle. Jones agrees, and we retrace our steps back to the crash. Suddenly, another flash of lightning distracts me for a second. I see a dark shape on the edge of my vision and start to run.
Erika, watch out!
I draw my gun and spin around again, but I'm not the one our attacker goes for. No, he's smarter than that. He goes after the injured one. He rushes from the woods so fast I barely have time to face him before he tackles Jones and pulls him to his feet. He's wearing prison garb, but his hands and feet are free. He holds a sharp piece of glass and presses it into Jones's neck. August Flynn, drop the weapon now or I'll shoot.
Don't be too hasty, Agent. If you fire a shot, my hand might slip.
I realize my own hands are shaking. I've never been in a hostage situation like this. I half expected August Flynn to be a raving madman. Instead, his gaze is icy and hollow, sending a chill down my spine. You have nowhere to go, Heartbreaker. Reinforcements are on the way.
Please don't call me that. August will do. As for your reinforcements, perhaps they'll meet the same sorry fate as our van on the way to Bataille.
I mean, he might be right about that. That totally not bear thing almost attacked me too. What are you talking about? The bear? August prods Jones gently with the tip of the glass.
Do you really think it was a bear, Jones?
Well, what do you think it was? A werewolf? Werewolves don't exist. Pfft. Next thing he says he's gonna say the vampires don't exist.
I don't know. I didn't get a good look.
Well, I did. As did the poor driver of that van. He knew what he'd seen. And if you asked me, he acted quite appropriately.
Freaking out? I feel anxious standing here talking rather than taking action, but in truth, it's useful to stall until reinforcements arrive. So, what do you think you saw, August?
I don't think you'll believe me, and I wouldn't blame you. But I don't think that creature we encountered is documented in any science book. A priori, the only word to describe it is monster.
Oh, come on.
Was it a bear? I doubted it, but I'm not inclined to believe August's far-fetched version of events either.
So you see, Agent, there are monsters nearby much more dangerous than I.
August makes small steps, moving them both backwards. Not another step, or else I'll save, because I know a choice is coming up. Not another step.
Truly, Agent, I would not advise trying to shoot me in these circumstances.
He keeps moving, but unfortunately, he's right. If I try to shoot him, I could easily shoot Jones instead, or August will use that shard of glass on Jones's throat. I think I'll keep him talking. My heart races. What can I do? I've always had good aim, but my hands don't feel steady, and it's raining. Choice! I have to do something. I can't just stand here. I think stalling would work. August like that. No one has to get hurt here today. It can't be long before backup arrives. I was the closest agent, but there will be others. There's only one road into town, too, so if I can keep them close. I suppose this is where you make your demands.
My demands?
This is a hostage situation, isn't it? You don't really want to hurt Jones. You want something. You want a way to escape, I'm guessing.
If I'm being honest, I didn't really think about it. I'm playing the situation by ear. This wasn't some master plan of mine, you know.
Well, now's your chance to give it some thought. He tightens his grip on the shard of glass. I watch carefully, hoping he'll slip and cut himself, giving me a moment to
I
act.
suppose I should ask for your car keys.
But that's my car.
The van certainly isn't going anywhere, and I don't see any other way out of this town before your reinforcements arrive.
If I give you the keys, will you give me Jones?
Of course not, then you will just shoot me.
Well, yeah. I won't shoot you if you don't hurt him.
I'm not a fool.
Then what's your plan? Take Jones with you?
Yes, and he can do the driving. Once we're far enough out of town, I'll let him go.
Jones is like, don't I get a say in this situation? I'm not a fool either, August.
You arrested the wrong person. I'm not the heartbreaker. I'm not the killer.
You're sure acting like one.
I'm trying to survive.
He's talking. That's good. Maybe if I can keep him occupied a little longer, get some lore out of him. Then tell me, what's your side of the story? Why were you arrested?
You're going to have to ask your colleagues that. No, I think you're trying to stall, so...
I jolt, almost dropping my gun as an eerie wail splits my ears. The ground rumbles, lights flash in my eyes. What is happening? August and Jones are struggling again. The noise must have distracted August long enough for Jones to make a move. I rush towards them, looking for an opening, and ram my fist into August's face. August staggers backwards. Jones breaks free, then recovers his own gun. A few breaths later, we both have August at gunpoint. August, meanwhile, stares at something else.
What the?
Oh no, the plot! The plot's rising out of the ground! What are these spires? They appear to be crimson. Something is rising out of the ground. More than one. Metallic structures, wide enough to fit several people inside, and tall enough to... I don't even know how tall they are, because they seem to stretch into the sky. For a moment, I wonder if they'll keep rising, but they finally stopped. I struggle to remember my purpose. I lift my gun and advance on August again. Get on your knees! His face pale. August complies. His gaze remains on the tower.
It's happening.
What's happening? Do you have any idea where this tower came from? Jones seems to have forgotten about August completely. He approaches the tower, gaping.
There's some sort of mechanism on the left and right side, like a laser sensor.
He keeps walking around, his hand passing over the sensor. Ah! Jones falls to the ground with a splash of blood. I guess, we shouldn't do that. I guess we shouldn't touch that. Guess we shouldn't go there. His head is gone.
Not a good time to lose one's head.
In the arms of the angel, fly away from here. Rest in peace, Jones. Maybe I scream. I don't even know. I can't process what's happening anymore. Jones is dead. Something shot him. I don't know why. I don't know what. I don't know where it came from. Nothing makes sense anymore. Of their own accord, my feet move towards him.
Don't.
And then a hand yanks me back, right before I step past the same sensors Jones did. August stands next to me, a cold smirk on his
It would
face.
be a shame for you to make the same mistake as your friend there. You seem more intelligent. Perhaps you're in shock.
Indeed, my dude just lost his entire cranium.
Please, remember later that I just saved your life.
Oh, all right. Him head! It gone!
We shouldn't walk past that tower, and I highly doubt your reinforcements will reach us.
He points to the side, and behind us, and in every direction. Oh, ooh. The silhouettes of multiple towers reach into the sky, forming a large ring around the town of
I
Battaille.
believe we're surrounded.
Aw, man. Is this where the demo ended? I think it is. Crimson Spires. Oh no. We're reaching uncharted territory now. 6 months, 187 days. 6 months have passed since the day of the contingency, but it feels like a lifetime. We've lost all contact with the outside world. I still have no idea why the large towers appeared, or whether the rest of the world fares any better than we do. But the towers aren't the only thing that changed that day. I never saw the city hall in its original form, but it used to be a small, humble building, exactly what you'd expect in a royal town. Now it's a looming high-rise, marking the exact center point between all 36 spires. Oh. No one knows what the new floors contain. No one can penetrate the building beyond the ground level. Phones don't work. Planes don't fly overhead. The only thing that enters is an automated train that brings food. We don't know where the train comes from, although the Battaille family seems to fund its operation. They refuse to comment. People tried to leave, of course. The police force even banded together and tried to disable a tower. They all died.
Oh, geez.
I'm the only law enforcement agent remaining in town, so I now serve as Bataille sheriff. Aww.
You have been promoted.
Well, I guess I'm the only one with a badge here. Chapter 1. I am the law.
I am the law.
I arrive at work and prepare some coffee. The noise wakes August, who sits up from his bed in a nearby cell.
Hello there.
Good morning to you, Sheriff Wright. I ignore him and open a copy of the Battaille Beacon, fresh from the local press. August peers anxiously from the bars of his prison. So we just locked him up for 6 months and we're just buddies now? Is that a new addition? That's not your concern. But you gave me one last month. And you used it to scare Billy. I liked Billy. He used to bring me free linens from his mom's shop. How did I scare him away? You said he was the secret love child of a Russian spy born of a forbidden affair, and somehow you deduced this from a picture you saw of his family in the paper. I might have gotten carried away with that story, but I must have hit upon some truth if I scared him away. Besides, all truth is absolutely relative, unless it's relatively absolute.
You shut up and stop making sense.
I'm not in the mood for useless platitudes this morning, August. I sip my coffee and continue to read the paper, flipping pages loud enough for him to notice.
Hey.
You really won't give me a copy?
No. You're in timeout, sir. Timeout until I figure out what to do with you.
I answer by peering close at an article in the paper, as if I didn't hear him. August paces back and forth in his cell for a while, until finally...
Well...
I just noticed. You were late this morning. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. By exactly 6 minutes. How would you know? You were asleep. Actually, I wasn't. I couldn't sleep a wink last night. Is something wrong with your cell? Everything is wrong with my cell, but I couldn't sleep because something significant will happen soon. I'm sure of it. Something significant? That's right. So you can see the future now.
Caterus paribus.
The future is as real as the present, Sheriff. We exist in eternity. Therefore... Sir, who do you think you are? Akio? I told you, I'm not in the mood. What do you think will happen? Well, I'm not sure of the details yet. It would help a lot if I could read the paper. I sigh and shake my head.
Fine, just roll it up, whap him with it.
There you go, playing mind games again. I won't fall for it, August.
My friend.
I'm quite serious, my friend. As serious as the day of the contingency 6 months ago. Despite myself, my heart skips a beat. I see the towers rising into the heavens, as if it just happened 1 moment ago. I also remember the look of shock, but not confusion on August's face, when he said, "It's happening."
What do you know, August?
Are you actually clairvoyant? The foundation of truth has already shattered, as I knew it would. The mansion of brick has disintegrated into sand. Now the sand must take a new shape. I am certain this must happen, and I believe it will happen very soon. Nothing you just said makes any sense.
Isn't that lovely?
That's because it shouldn't. I'm done listening to August's nonsense. I pick up the paper and resume trying to read it, but my mind wanders. There's nothing interesting in the Battaille beacon. I don't know what else I expected. Maybe I can find some actual work to do. I keep forgetting I can walk around. I'm not gonna talk to you. You're in timeout. Rad. Resistance against drugs. Cute. America. I say, what's this? I'm not sure why we keep these phones around. They don't work anymore. I suppose I maintain the small hope that one day someone will call through from the other side. But that's a foolish hope to cling to. More than anything, these phones are just a sad reminder of the world we no longer have. You mean I can't get no sushi? I can't get no YouTube? I can't watch my cartoons? Is the only thing I can do is talk to him? I don't want to talk to you. Alright. What's up? I glance inside August's cell, as if to ensure that everything is in order. But I'm feeling restless enough that I might as well talk to him while I'm here. What's your past life? What were you doing? I guess I never asked you much about your life before the contingency. Other than kill people, what did you do?
You have me all wrong.
Well, for starters, I didn't kill people. I taught them. I was a professor of philosophy at Washington University. That's right. I think I heard that in the news when they first arrested you. Did you find a philosophical reason to commit murder? Please stop derailing me. I was a fantastic professor. My students adored me. What else did you do? Any hobbies?
Can you imagine?
Oh, of course. I volunteered at the local dog shelter. I have a way with animals, you know. Once I coaxed a feral dog into the shelter without so much as a leash, even after all the shelter employees had tried catch poles and failed. Why should I believe a word you say? Because you can't prove me wrong. All right. Besides, if your mind can perceive it, then the reality must exist. Otherwise, it cannot be perceived.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's not very convincing.
Well...
I am also a great chef. I was vegan for 5 years. Did you know that? You learn a lot of interesting ways to mix flavors eating vegan. Maybe I could cook for you sometime. Sir, are you flirting with me? Sir, we're done talking about this. Yeah, so, how about the murders? The murders that you totally didn't do, maybe. I don't know. Maybe if you finally confess your crimes as the Heartbreaker, I'll give you a book to read.
Don't call me that.
I am not the Heartbreaker. Oh, I forgot. You don't like that nickname. Let me rephrase. You single-handedly murdered 7 people in cold blood and tore their hearts from their body. Am I wrong? Of course you're wrong. Do my hands look like they belong to such a cold-blooded killer? Yes! No. Why don't you feel them for yourself, Sheriff? You'll find they're soft, warm, and ever so gentle. Stop! I'd be a fool to grant such a request to a prisoner.
Erika.
Oh, but I'm not asking for me, Sheriff. I'm asking for your sake. How long has it been since you touched someone? In a manner that wasn't aggressive, I mean. Shut up! I'm working. I'm the only police officer in this town, and I'm doing my best. I'm sure you've been lonely here in Battaille. You must spend more time with me than anyone else. And how about before that? Did you have friends that would embrace you? Or a lover, perhaps? Stop it.
Was that so bad?
What's wrong? Do my questions make you uncomfortable? I wonder why. Wipe that smirk off your face. How are you doing? So, how are you this morning?
Marvelous.
Me? Oh, I'm doing splendidly. How kind of you to ask. Your smugness is endearing. You said you didn't sleep last night. True, that was unfortunate. But it was the good kind of restlessness, the way an innocent child feels the night before Christmas.
Where's this optimism coming from?
Oh, I could try to explain, but you'd probably keep giving me that blank stare of yours.
You're jailed indefinitely for the murder of 7 people, for which you'll never get a proper trial. Meanwhile, you're also trapped in the small town of Bataille indefinitely.
There is no true world.
You're trapped in a prison far worse than mine, Sheriff Wright. The prison of your own mind. Is this entire game not trying to escape Battaille and just trying to get Sheriff Wright a boyfriend or girlfriend? You fail to see the beauty of this entire situation.
We may never have contact with the outside world again, if it still even exists. How is that beautiful?
I'm so glad you asked. You and I are witnessing a unique event in earthly history. The myth of materialism has dissolved, and a new reality is revealed to us.
Hope is evil.
Monism dies, and the complexity of pluralism reveal themselves. I cannot wait to see what truths rise to the surface. I believe that I am here in Battaille because it is at the center of this transformation. I believe I was drawn here to witness it all firsthand.
Transformation or revolution?
The only way my situation could get any better is if I could walk out of this cell and study these metaphysical transformations more closely.
You're insane. I'm starting to believe that.
Don't do that again.
What if I do?
Disagree with me all you like, Erika, but never call me that again.
Oh, all right. Well, fine. Crazy person. I'm gonna go out this door. I shouldn't leave just yet.
Alright, I guess I'm not gonna go out this door.
I sit down to read the paper again. Nothing else seems to require my attention. But I'm anxious now, gripping my coffee mug and squirming in my chair. After a few minutes, I give up and fling the paper across the room. Fluffing heck! August stares at me in confusion. Even he is surprised by my outburst.
What?
Is there something scandalous in the news?
There's nothing in the paper, as usual. Nothing but gossip, theories about the birds, a sale at the furniture store, and a new play being held at the Battaille High School. It's all bullcrap. It's so normal. I hate it. I fling my coffee cup off my desk, and it smashes to pieces. A long silence follows my outburst. When I finally recover enough to look at August, I see a strange look in his eyes. What are you looking at?
Duh.
You're acting unusual.
I'm mad and stir crazy. I'm doing that thing that animals do in the zoo when they've been in the zoo too long.
It's the first morning since you became sheriff that you arrived to work late. Certainly the first time I've ever seen you throw a tantrum. It's a side of you I've never seen before.
The edges of his lips curl up ever so slightly.
But I always suspected it was there.
Shut up! Stop looking at me with your pretty eyes. I recover the paper from the floor, then fling it into his cell. Here's your newspaper. He doesn't move towards it. He just keeps smiling his strange smile at me.
How interesting.
Never mind. I don't think I need it anymore.
How about I punch you in your pretty face for fun? I know that he's playing me again. He wants me to lash out, but I just can't stop. I storm up to his cell and lean close to the bars, baring my teeth. You're right, okay? I'm not myself. This fluffing town is warping me. I don't understand anything anymore. There has to be a reason we're trapped here, an explanation for the barricade. But every day passes without any clue as to what's going on, and I don't even know where to look for answers. 6 months. 6 months without a single hint of contact from the outside world, and everyone who tries to leave gets an explosion in their skull. I had a good job. I had a good boss. I liked my coworkers. I loved working for the FBI, and I was on my way to a promotion. Now I spend my best days keeping a bunch of gun-toting farmers from blowing each other's heads off. And my worst days, which are most of them, I spend pacing around in this stale gray building with you as my only company. What did I do to deserve this? How on earth did I earn this punishment?
Life is irrational.
But I don't wanna.
You're not being punished. No one is judging you.
Don't even start. One more word out of your mouth and I swear to God I'll... Without thinking, I draw my gun and cock it at him.
Now, let's hold on here, Sheriff. We can't have you going loony.
There was a flash of surprise in his eyes, but it fades quickly into amusement.
You what?
Am I really losing my mind? My arms lower, but my hands continue to clutch my gun of their own accord. I just can't take this anymore.
Maybe this is what I predicted would happen today. Maybe the transformation I sensed on the verge of completion was you, Erika Wright. Lift that weapon and aim it at me. Pull the trigger. See what happens.
Do go on.
Go on.
I hesitate, my hand shaking around the weapon, halfway between the holster and August. This can't be happening. Any of it. I shouldn't be here. I can't really be trapped in Battaille forever. It's like I'm trapped in a nightmare. Each morning I think it'll be the day I wake up, but nothing happens.
Oh, thank goodness.
Sheriff Wright! Sheriff Wright! Sheriff, please, are you... I'm busy having a meltdown. I'm crashing out here. I quickly holster my gun as I turn to face our visitor. I'm embarrassed that she might have seen me acting so foolish, but she's too distracted to notice anything amiss. You have to help me, Sheriff. My Jessica's missing. Please, I've looked everywhere, but she's gone. Just gone. Where can she go? Slow down, Mrs. Murdoch. Take a deep breath. I can see that you're distraught, but I need you to tell me the facts. You're talking about Jessica Murdoch, your daughter, correct? You believe she's missing. Yes, but it's not just her. Gary Reed, her good-for-nothing boyfriend, he's gone too. Please try not to panic. This is a small town and 2 people are easier to find than 1. Once I know more about the situation, there's a very high chance we'll find them. Thank you, Sheriff. Can you start by telling me when you last had contact with Jessica? Last night, she told me she would spend the night with Gary. I was furious, but I've already done what I can to save that girl from her sins. She'll have to find the Lord in her own terms, you know. Well, that's quite recent. What happened when you looked for her this morning? Gary's folks called me, asking where he was. I said I hadn't a clue. The Reeds said Gary's room was cleared out, like he packed his things up and left. Then I checked Jessica's room and it was the same way. Did they somehow escape? A tremor runs through her. She clapped her hands on her mouth as if to hold back a torrent of sobs. But that just can't be. That just can't be. Where on earth would they run off to? I force a swallow down my throat. The answer hangs silently in the air between us. I hear a short puff of breath, but it's not from Mrs. Murdoch. I turn to see August smirking softly from his cell. I glare daggers at him, but he knows the rules. If he interrupts me while I'm working, he'll lose one of his creature comforts. I'm gonna take your Xbox, August. No more Halo for you. I'll need you to answer some general questions about both Jessica and Gary for me. Please do your best to answer. But if you don't know anything, tell me who might. I ask her a lot of the procedural questions required for a missing persons report: physical description, medical condition, clothing, and so on. I believe what I told Mrs. Murdoch. The chances of finding Jessica and Gary, whether they're alive or dead, is very high. Uncomfortably high. This isn't the first time this has happened. People give up. They can't take the town anymore. Or maybe they think it'll be different for them. It never is. I find another body past the parameter. It's sad, but over the last few months, it is tragically commonplace. So why do I have this terrible feeling in my gut, this growing knot of anxiety twisting and turning, like the answer won't be as simple as I want? Is anything simple anymore? I hope I can find them alive. I hope they're just hiding. One way or another, though, they'll be found. Until then, I'll do my job to the best of my ability.
Thank you for all of that information. Now just a few more questions. Jessica's hobbies, Jessica's personality. Let's start at the top. What are her hobbies? What did Jessica like to do in her free time? Before or after the towers? After would probably be more helpful. I don't really know. She used to play basketball. She used to draw. Not so much anymore. She mostly spends time in her room, sometimes hanging out behind the dollar store with a couple other kids her age. I try to stay busy. I hope she does too. It sounds like you've been spending less time with her since the contingency. Yeah, so I guess the people who already lived here were able to leave the place. Maybe? Not intentionally. It's just she's been withdrawn. I suppose we all have. It's strange now that all we have is each other. You also lost a lot of people in the first few weeks. Did you or Jessica lose anyone? Our neighbor, George Harper, tried to leave on the second day. He worked at the Walmart up in St. Anne, and he thought since he couldn't call in, he had to make a shift. I tried to warn him not to go. The blue truck out on Highway 8. She nods. How well did Jessica know him? He babysat her a couple of times when I had to work late. Other than that, we were neighbors. We knew him. I suppose that makes sense. He's gone now. The house is empty. Jessica's not there, if that's what you're thinking. I wasn't. I would. That's one of the first places I'd go. Then George has nothing to do with any of this. Any other questions? What's Jessica's personality? Other than Gary, who are some of Jessica's friends? Most of them didn't live in Battaille. You know, the high school was out in Clarkville. I know. It's been very hard for her, you know. What about in Battaille? Did she have anyone she associated with in town? Only Sarah. They were just acquaintances before. Jessica was a bit of a troublemaker. Nothing serious, you know. But Sarah was always so straight-laced. Now I guess they're best friends. Not much choice when you think about it. Most of the kids her age around here aren't as quick as Jessica or Sarah, if you know what I mean. Were they at the top of their class? At the high school? Nah, but they weren't bad. But now, at the Battaille school, I guess that's where Sarah is today. Probably. I went over to her house. Her parents hadn't seen Jessica either. Thanks. I'm sure I'll talk to her. Yes, what's Jessica and Gary's relationship? Tell me about Jessica and Gary. Gary's a dropout, a darn fool and a bad influence. Isn't it good that Jessica's boyfriend was in Battaille? Can you imagine if... Hardly have to imagine what that would be like. It happened to Courtney and Jeremy and all sorts of other people. I guess you don't talk to them much. Not unless they're getting into trouble. Well, if you ask me, everything would have been a lot better if Gary had been on the other side of those towers when they appeared. Gary's a terrible influence. Made Jessica stop going to church. You hate him so much you want his head blown off? Not right on the other side, maybe a mile north or something. Would have given Jessica a clean break. Unless she tried to go and find him. Don't even say such things. It's what a few people did. I do know their names. I know exactly where they are right now. Stop it! What does that have to do with anything? I think your disapproval of Jessica's relationship might have something to do with why she ran away. Have you considered that? Of course I have. I don't need you to figure out why she left, just to find where she is. So, do you have anything else? Those are all the questions I have for now. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. This might seem unrelated, but Jessica was very obsessed with the Battaille family. The Battailles? Yes, the ones who founded this town. Right, you're not from here. Everyone respects the Battailles. Old money built those lead mines from dirt and stone. But ever since the mines closed, the Battailles only come out for church. That's the only reason Jessica ever went to any services. Jessica would try to corner one of those poor Battaille children and pepper them with questions. What did they do with all of their money? How did they spend all their time locked up in that big mansion of theirs? She was so very rude.
The Battailles never answered such questions. Of course, they're too polite to answer such questions. They would steer the conversation back to our savior, Lucius Christ. You mean Jesus Christ? Something like anger and disappointment flashes over her face. No, you must have me confused with the lost ones. I said I meant Lucius. The plot thickens. I hear a laugh and glaive over at August. He is grinning maniacally, almost rocking back and forth in excitement. I'm amazed that he resists talking, but it's clear that there is something he wants to say so badly it's killing him. Is this going to be one of those August was right about everything all along and we should have listened to him kind of things? I mean, in most things, the crazy person is usually the right one. The one spouting nonsense. Anyway, Jessica still tried to find out more about the Battailles whenever she could, especially after the towers came. She said that if anyone could save us from this town, it was the Battaille family. I know that might seem unrelated, but I felt I should mention it all the same. Thank you. I'm glad you did. Now you've given me a few leads. I'll follow up with the Reeds and Jessica's friend Sarah for more information. But first, I'll need to... My pause is too heavy. Mrs. Murdoch lowers her eyes with dread. I'll need to eliminate the first possibility. If Jessica tried to leave the town perimeter, we should be able to find evidence. I'll let you know as soon as I can whether I find anything. After Mrs. Murdoch leaves, I start to gather my things, but I can feel August's eyes on me all the while. I can already sense the words on his tongue, preparing to come out. What is it? What
fire of knowledge do you bring to us mortals today?
Not a word, August. Not even if I know what happened to Jessica. I gape at him.
A priori.
She's dead. So is Gary. I'm about 95% certain of that. But it's not what you think. They didn't die at the perimeter. Plot so thick I'm gonna need a butcher knife to get through it. I'll let the facts speak for themselves. Jessica strikes me as a smart girl. She and Gary wouldn't just try to walk out like those dumb cops a few months ago. She would have had a plan. You don't even know her, unless she's paying you visits when I'm asleep. I'm fairly sure you never even met her. That doesn't matter. I've heard enough from you and her mother. She had a plan. She really thought she could leave, but her plan backfired, and I bet it had something to do with the Battailles. Unfortunately for you, I don't care what you think. Well, you, Miss Erika, may not care what he thinks, but Espoir and most likely you guys do too, because I think he might be onto something. You always listen to the crazy person when the town's going to poop. I head for the door.
Wait.
Erika, wait. I can help you. Let me help you. I stop and stare at him in shock. Let you help me? I don't understand. What exactly are you suggesting? You know what. You're tired of being roommates, aren't you? Give me some freedom. Let me help you with your case. Absolutely not. Ever. I have a good sense for what's happening in this town, even from my cell. Remember how I predicted Mr. Peterson was having an affair? That one was obvious, and you were obviously wrong about Billy being a secret love child. Maybe we should look back into that. Maybe we should open up that case, you know.
Well...
I can't prove that. The answer's no. But Erika, just listen. Just me pleading over Erika's shoulder. He gives me another one of his sly smiles. I can tell you about Lucius. What?
Oh, this is interesting.
Wasn't that strange, Sheriff? Wasn't that a very bizarre thing to say? Lucius Christ. Did you ever hear that name before the contingency? I don't pay much attention to religion. So you mean you do not know of the great spaghetti god? Lucius Christ didn't exist before the contingency, but I can tell you more about him. I hesitate. I almost want to ask him to explain, but I know what he's doing. He doesn't know anything. He's just trying to get in my head. He's done this before, usually about the contingency. You're lying. Me? Never. I won't let you out, August, no matter how many made-up stories you try and tell me.
Whatever you say.
You'll change your mind, Sheriff Wright. And then Espoir will be like, I told you so.
Come on, Erika, come on, please. Let's let him out, please. Look at that face. Look at that face. Does that look like the face of a guy who's lying? Oh, all right. Guess we gotta go to work. Gotta do the thing. Gotta find the kids. Gotta be a detective. Live up to my name, Wright.
Oi, good morning, Sheriff Wright. I almost bumped into you there.
Good morning, Mayor. Can I help you with something?
No, I'm just out for coffee. Would you mind if I...
Go ahead.
You look like you're on a mission.
I just received a missing persons report. 2, in fact.
Missing persons? But...
I know, it's a small town. I'm sure I'll find them soon, alive or not.
Yes, of course. Let's pray you find the former. Are you sure you don't want to stay a few more minutes? You could fill me in while I pour my coffee.
I am instantly suspicious of the mayor. I notice him glancing nervously into the police department. You'll be fine, Jeff. Stay away from the bars and August can't touch you.
I know he can't touch me, but the man says the darndest things.
Welcome to my world, Mayor. I trust you can handle him long enough to pour your coffee. Irritated, I hurry past the mayor and continue outside. My first task is to investigate the most grim and most likely possibility. Jessica and Gary tried to leave Bataille and ended up like all the others. This means traveling the entire perimeter of the town and counting bodies. Aww. Since the night of the contingency, 73 people have attempted to leave Battaille. Every single one was cut down by the towers. I know all of them by now. Maybe I don't know all of their names, but I know their locations. I know where I found them. The sad truth is, there's no way to recover them. I know because people have tried, and they've joined the bodies they were trying to save.
Well, that sucks. That's just rude.
The towers do not care if you're trying to leave. One step too far and they end you, no matter your intentions. So the bodies remain, and every time someone goes missing, I have to count them. Soon, the numbers will start to go down. Animals don't touch the bodies, but natural decay will make them impossible to spot from a safe distance. Fortunately, I only have to worry if the numbers go up. I start where I always do, with the largest group of dead. It's where the Battaille police and a few local veterans assaulted the tower near the northmost point in town. They thought they could destroy it. They thought they could bring it down with explosives, and one of their guns and rockets and dynamite couldn't scratch it. They tried to go around to the other side. A small memorial is here near the tower. The mayor and I dedicated it last month. The townspeople put flowers on the plaque occasionally.
Oh, I don't know why, but that makes me incredibly sad. Gosh darn it, we need to do something about this.
The flowers there are wilted today, dampened by the rain and beginning to decay. I don't see any new bodies. The count starts at 14. It takes me almost 2 hours to fully circle the town, looking for 2 new corpses. I'm careful. I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to give their families false hope. As I return to the memorial, my count is still 73. I think I'm relieved, though it means my job is just beginning.
So if they're not there, where on earth could they be? Unless they went, like, underground somewhere.
The Battaille School, formerly Renault Middle School, is the only school in town. There aren't many students, only 148 by the last count. It serves children from daycare all the way through high school.
Oh, you got little babies running around with the angsty teens.
I was surprised when the people started up the school. I wasn't sure how important it would be, or how much the students could learn from the limited teaching pool. August even volunteered to teach, as much as he hates children, but that was never going to happen. At the very least, the school serves as a place for the children and teenagers of Battaille to stay during the day, and that's where I expect to find Jessica's friend, Sarah Carpenter. The principal of Battaille School, Terry Vincent, who also serves as an English teacher. She was relatively a new teacher at the junior high before the contingency.
Even that little experience was enough to make her the most qualified person to run the school. Aww. The power had gone to her head. Oh no. Ugh, is she gonna be a problem? Oh dear. Yeah, she looks like an insane teacher. I see you're here to disrupt classes again, Sheriff. I hope you have a good reason. Jessica Murdoch is missing. I'm sure you know that already. You mean to say that Miss Murdoch is skipping school? I'm glad you're looking for her, but she's not here. I know that. Then why are you here? Why aren't you looking for her? She needs to be in class. I'm sure that you're finally taking up my suggestion to work on our delinquency problem, but most students who skip school just stay home. Maybe they hang out behind the diner. You could go and find them if you wanted. That's not what's happening here. No one can find Jessica or her boyfriend, Gary. Have you checked the perimeter? Of course I have. Now I'm here to talk to Sarah Carpenter. She was one of Jessica's best friends, and she might have an idea of where she is. Sarah's in class right now. I know that, Terry. Principal Vincent. In my school, I am Principal Vincent. I felt that, Erika. Do you really believe that Sarah Carpenter can tell you enough to justify pulling her out of class? I need to find Jessica, Principal Vincent. Fine, I'll go get her. Terry Vincent is gone for a few minutes and returns with Sarah, a preppy 17-year-old who is one of the few teens in Bataille I haven't arrested at least once over the last few months. Principal Vincent takes a seat behind her desk while Sarah sits down next to me. Do you mind? Mind what? I'd like a little privacy. This is my office. Yeah, well, this is my badge. See it right here? It says Sheriff. This is my office. I might ask a question or two that Sarah doesn't want to answer in front of you. All the more reason for me to stay. No, not when the priority here is Jessica Murdoch. Do you want me to radio the mayor and get his opinion on this? I'll be in the cafeteria if you need me. As soon as Mrs. Vincent is gone, Sarah has a question for me. So, this is about Jess. Sorry you had to hear that. Even more, I'm sorry that she's the one in charge of this place. It's okay. She's a paper tiger. Nice way to put it. A paper tiger means someone who is like all up in your face and threatening when they really can't do nothing. Now, why do you think I'm asking around about Jessica? The letters she's been sending to Julian Battaille? That's not it, but you're going to have to tell me about that in a minute. Jessica's missing, Sarah. Oh no! Is she? No, I checked the parameter this morning. Everyone's thoughts just goes right to there. Is that something you think Jessica would do? Has she ever talked about stepping beyond the towers? No, it's just when someone can't be found in Battaille, that usually means they tried to leave. And Jess definitely wanted to leave. God, she hated this town. She did. I mean, we all hate this town now, right? But she hated it even before, so she was miserable. I kept telling her that at least she had Gary. Have you seen our high school class? I haven't. Do you have any idea how limited my options are and how bad they all are? Sometimes I look around our classroom and I want to walk between the towers. I think all the boys at the school will be a bit young for me anyway. Thank God, because I do not want any more competition. Are you saying I'm pretty, Sarah? You just said... Never mind. That's not important. Where do you think Jess might be hiding? I don't know. What makes you think she's hiding somewhere? She ran away from home. She isn't on the perimeter, so she must be somewhere in town. Maybe she found a way out. If she did, don't you think she'd tell you about it? Or she'd come back and let us all know? Ms. Reynolds, our science teacher, says that you sent dogs out of the town and they made it past the towers. You thought that they might be able to tell us something about the outside world. She also said that none of them came back, even the old ones, who have all been here their whole life. You'd think they'd be comfortable here. They wouldn't know any better. Of course they'd come back. They're trained animals. Even they knew how lucky they were to escape once. Those weren't my experiments. The police tried it before they... Any reason you didn't join them? I'm sorry. That was rude.
No, that's not why I'm here. You want to know more about Jess?
Yeah, what are these letters to Julian Battaille? Who is Julian Battaille?
You said something about letters she was sending to Julian Battaille. You thought they might be why I'm here. Yeah, of course. At first I thought she was totally into him, which is gross because sure he's rich, but he's like almost 30 and also she has a boyfriend. Leave some for the rest of us.
He's 30, you say? Is he hot and single, perhaps?
That wasn't it, though. The letters were all about the train. The supply train? Jess would wait for it every week. She thought that if she could just see someone inside would mean that a person was leaving the town. There's no one on the train. I had the paper print a whole page article about it. Yeah, after Danny Richards.
Who's Danny Richards?
Others would have tried, even after the towers claimed him. The train is automated.
Oh, okay, so he tried to go out through the train and still got, splatted.
Do you know that for sure? Or did you just tell everyone that to prevent more Dannys? I know it. Have you asked the Battailles about it? Because I bet they're the ones who know for sure. Their private guards are the ones who unload it every week, send food to the dollar store, medicine to the nurse's place, and I watched the train too. Don't you think I know how this town is run? The train is automated.
Is the train automated?
Fine, but Jess had other ideas. She tried to confront Julian about it at church, but he acted like he had no idea what she was talking about. You know he does, so have you asked him about it? I'm the one with the questions here. He doesn't talk to you either.
He doesn't get into trouble. He doesn't have to.
Well, I figured he reported the threatening letters to you. Did I tell you they were threatening? Yeah, just didn't take well to being ignored.
Well, interesting to know. Maybe I'll finally have a reason to chat with him.
Ask him about the train. For Jess.
We'll see if it comes up. What's up about Gary? What was Jessica and Gary's relationship like?
They've been dating since freshman year. Broke up a few times along the way, but I bet that's never gonna happen again. Once you get past me, his options aren't too hot either. Which means he's missing too, isn't he?
Yes.
Oh, I bet they're just hiding away from Jess's mom. She does not like him.
And where do you think she might be doing that?
I'm not gonna narc on my friend, Sheriff.
I just want to make sure she's not dead, Sarah. Listen, kid, if you know something about Jessica's whereabouts and don't tell me, you'll be in trouble. Harboring or helping a runaway is punishable by law. And I am the law!
So what? We don't have lawyers or judges anymore. What do I care about the law?
Dang it, this kid makes a point.
I still uphold the law, and I'm the sheriff, so you should care about me. Fine. In that case, I have no idea where Jessica and Gary go to make out. How about that? Is there anything else you want to know?
Ask about Sarah and Jessica. So, were you Jessica's best friend?
I guess so. That's so corny, you know. We hung out a lot. Less when she was with Gary, but that's fine. Sometimes I need time alone.
If she's hiding somewhere, you think she would contact you?
Eventually, yeah. She'd probably get bored, and if she escaped...
That's not possible.
Yeah, well, I guess it doesn't matter. Even those dogs never came back.
How do you think she'd contact you?
Maybe by sending a letter, so I probably won't get it for another week. Postal service sucks now.
That's because we only have one postman, and he was retired. But all that considered, Fred does a good job. He stood up when he was needed, like me. Aw, so everyone just got saddled with their job? Like, okay, you used to work at a Walmart, now you're a store manager. Or you used to work at a pharmacy, now you're the head doctor.
Maybe he picks up your letters and delivers them, but he spends most of his time drinking in his office. Can't remember the last time he delivered something here.
I'll still check with him.
My earring!
I'll still check with him, see if he has anything intended for you.
Any other questions?
That's all I have for now.
If Jess got out, you won't go bring her back, will you?
What do you mean?
That would be so cruel.
Look, Jessica didn't escape Battaille. No one can.
I'm going to find her, and you both are going to get in a lot of trouble if you're hiding anything from me. Next, I make my way to the house of Gary Reed's family. Vernon Reed, it's Sheriff Wright. You have a few minutes to talk?
Is this about Gary? I've been asking all around town. No idea where that boy's gone to, if that's what you want to know.
I surveyed the perimeter. Didn't see him out there, if that makes you feel better.
I know he wouldn't do something that dumb, even if that Jessica was trying to talk him into it. He saw what happened to the police force. He was there when they tried to blow up that tower. After that, any thoughts of leaving just slipped right out of his mind.
And Jessica? You think she was trying to talk him into something?
That girl always had ideas. You know she was obsessed with that train. You know that it's no way out of the town. Danny found that out the hard way.
Danny. You don't seem very worried about Gary.
Like you said, you didn't see him on the perimeter. He'll turn up eventually. This ain't anything new for him, really.
He runs away a lot?
Ever since his mom left, just a couple months before those towers went up.
So she wasn't in Bataille when the contingency happened?
Nope, she was the lucky one. Or maybe I am. Who the heck knows what's happening out there? Probably nothing.
Oh yeah, there's still that big old monster.
Say, I got a question for you, actually. When did we start calling it the contingency?
I actually don't know.
And what does that mean? Who started it?
That's a really good question.
It's like we all just woke up one day and had that name for it. But where did it come from? Who started it?
I think I heard the mayor say it. I really don't have a better answer for you.
Just strange, that's all. Seems like more of a mystery than where my boy ran off to.
Mr. Reed, I get that you're not concerned, but Jessica's mother is, so I'd really like some help in figuring this out.
Did you try my granddad's cabin?
No. Where's that?
Not far from the smelter. Still in the perimeter, of course. Not much to do out there, though, since you can't go much into the woods from there. I kinda let the place fall apart. Turned out to be okay. But the kid knows about it, and he's stowed out there to drink beer a couple times.
Thanks. I'll check around there.
Good, but, be careful in that cabin.
What do you mean? Is it falling apart literally?
No, it's very close to the perimeter itself. There's a tower looming just an acre away from the place.
I see. I'll keep that in mind.
Good. You have a good day now.
When I return to the office, I'm surprised to see two new visitors, a man and a woman. They're both clean-cut, good-looking, and elegantly dressed.
Holy cow. Ma'am. Your suit is sharp enough to cut this tension.
The woman glances at me, her gaze fierce enough to swallow me whole. Oh no! She laughed cutely. Then she returns her attention to her previous companion, August. Yes, she seems to be deep in conversation with August, and as she speaks to him, the same cold eyes that swept over me become warm and glistening. She smiles and twirls her hair on one
Sheriff
finger.
Wright?
Oh, this is Julian? Hi, Julian. I need to ask you a few questions, like, are you single? Are you seeing anyone? Are you interested in females? Ah, my other earring! Dang it! Sheriff Wright.
The gentleman strides
My name
towards
is
me.
Julian Battaille. I'm here with my sister Charlotte. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Instantly suspicious of these two.
Even though he says it's a pleasure, he sounds rather bored. I offer my hand. Sorry. Sheriff Erika Wright. 'Cause I'm the sheriff now. See, it says sheriff on my badge. As he shakes my hand, I feel warmth spread from his touch. I can't explain it, but it's almost electrifying. Against my wishes, I can feel myself blushing. The pleasure's all mine.
Yes, good. Well, I'm sorry to barge in like this, but after we heard what happened to Jessica, we were very worried.
Oh no. Oh no, they're both cute. Nearby, his sister Charlotte bursts into laughter. Can it really be? She and August are leaning close to each other. Their faces flushed, and they're both laughing. Aw, are we all gonna get a partner today? Aw. Julian clears his throat.
We realize you're a bit short-staffed around here. You're also operating on a low budget.
You gonna give me some money? Or some more people? Or something to do?
So we'd like to offer our assistance.
Assistance?
Yes, we can provide funds for any equipment you might need.
Aw, isn't that nice? Not at all suspicious. Funds won't accomplish much these days. Most people just want to trade. I suspect it won't be long before we have to make a new form of currency around here.
A fair point. Although I wouldn't dismiss the power of dollars just yet, Sheriff. In any case, we can provide the equipment itself. Acquiring it might just take a little longer than money.
I appreciate that, but...
Why are we helping out? Well, it's rare that someone goes missing around here, and I'm sure you want to find her as soon as possible.
Hey, your teeth are awfully sharp, my good man. Your eyes are awfully red. You wouldn't happen to be... a vampire, would you? No, I was going to ask, if you had the means, why didn't you offer the police like this sooner?
Well, this seemed like a special situation. Besides, after the last sheriff behaved so... foolishly, I suppose I needed time to judge your character.
Oh, and what have you judged? That I am cute as a button?
Please, Sheriff Wright. I feel like you and I are getting off on the wrong foot.
His expression shifts to something much warmer, but also slightly wolfish. He reaches up slowly and puts a hand on my shoulder, his fingers brushing my neck slightly. I didn't think I wanted him to touch me, but once he does, I feel myself grow weak in the knees.
We just want to help.
I find it hard to avert my eyes from his. I feel like I could get lost in them. They feel hot and cold at the same time, like moving close to a fire while a blizzard swirls around me. No, this is just stupid hormones talking. Maybe August was right. I've been alone for too long. And August is in his cell, and he's like, exactly, you just need to have some dick. I blink rapidly, shrug off his hand, and try to regain my senses. You keep saying we. Do you mean the whole Battaille family? How many of you live up in that big mansion of yours?
Well, there are only 3 members of our family here in town, but I primarily refer to Charlotte and myself as we make most of the executive decisions.
Executive decisions about what? The lead mines closed a long time ago. What exactly do you do?
Yes, well, we still have estates to maintain.
Uh-oh. Hold on. There's so much I want to know about the Batailles. I don't even know where to start, but I doubt Julian will endure many questions. One girl did ask me to ask about the train, so what about the train? Can you tell me about the train that brings supplies to Battaille?
What about it?
It's the only vehicle capable of leaving the town and returning. Why is that?
I don't know.
Ugh. It's your train! But don't you oversee its operation?
I protect the train. I ensure a riot doesn't break out every time it arrives. What does this have to do with your missing persons?
Want to make sure they ain't on that train. Jessica was trying to learn more about the train. I believe she sent you letters about it.
Did she? I don't think I received them. Listen, I can sympathize with your curiosity, but I don't have the answers you're looking for. Please focus on the matter at hand.
This is the matter at hand. Lady's missing.
Meanwhile, your new assistant will join you tomorrow.
New assistant? My new assistant?
Oh, did I forget to mention? Yes, we're also sending someone to help you with your investigation. Her name is Madeline Gray. I think you'll like her. Very smart, excellent combat training.
Ooh. What about field experience?
Well, most people with that qualification are no longer available, as you may recall. Won't it be nice to have some backup?
I'd appreciate that, but I'd rather choose my own assistant.
We saved you the trouble. You have more important matters to worry about than interviews, and we refuse to take no for an answer.
Forceful? His smile feels vaguely threatening, or maybe he just has exceptionally sharp teeth. Yeah, you notice that too. Another ridiculous laugh splits the air as Charlotte finally breaks away from August, shaking her thick curls around her shoulders.
Lucius Christ, that man is a riot! Why on earth do you leave a brain like that to rot in a cell, Erika?
How am I not supposed to assume you're a vampire? You even talk like a vampire! It's Sheriff, and he's murdered 7 people.
Allegedly. He tells me he's an innocent man, never even convicted.
Only because he never had a chance to go to trial.
Well, even if that's true, that was before the contingency. Now we're all imprisoned for life. Isn't that right, Julian?
I suppose.
The world has changed. Humanity has changed. He deserves to start fresh.
That's what I've been saying. He carved people's hearts out of their bodies.
Really?
She's gonna be like, that's hot. I mean, that's terrible. She glances back at August with some surprise. He shrugs, and somehow this makes her laugh again.
You're going to set him free, Erika, and you'll do it now.
Madam, you may be attractive and have a nice laugh, but you don't tell me what to do. At first, I think she's joking. Then she stops laughing and continues to stare at me pointedly.
I said now. Please.
Aw, man, she put a please on it. Guess I gotta do it. I just stare back at her in shock.
She probably needs to file some paperwork or something.
Shut your pretty mouth, Julian.
Uh-oh. Do I gotta take off these earrings I just put on, ma'am? Her eyes still haven't left mine.
Do I need to repeat myself a 3rd time?
I don't follow your orders, Ms. Battaille. Only the mayor has the authority to make that command.
Is that so?
I am the law. She leans closer to me. The little hairs all over my body pull at my skin like they're trying to escape. Julian reaches out and puts a hand on Charlotte's shoulder. His manner is soft and tender.
No need for that, Charlotte.
Yeah, he better hold you back. Or better hold me back. The fire dims from Charlotte's eyes. She draws back. I take a deep breath and realize I've been holding it. My hand moves away from my gun.
Fine. I'll talk to the mayor. Maddie will bring you the paperwork first thing tomorrow morning.
Come on, Charlotte. I started this out liking you. Don't make me hate you. Maddie?
Madeline Gray.
Thank you for all your hard work, Erika. Sheriff, best of luck to you.
All right. With a strange look on her face, she saunters from the building. Julian's expression is less sinister, but I still wouldn't describe it as warm.
It's a shame we don't see you more often, Sheriff Wright. May I call you Erika?
No, you may not. You call me Sheriff because I am the law. I suppose, since you asked.
Good. I'd like to get to know you better anyway.
He draws close again.
Perhaps you could come to the church sometime. A lot of good townsfolk attend the church. You might be able to glean some useful information. My family almost always attends. You could meet our brother Liam.
I'll consider it.
I'm glad to hear that.
Gosh, he sure is pretty, and he's got big, long teeth. He's so close now, it's almost like he's teasing a kiss, but my mood is far from romantic right now. I stare at his jacket to avoid those swirling eyes of his, and I notice a small, dark stain. I seize this discovery as a means of disruption. You spilled something on your jacket.
Oh.
He moves back quickly, looks down, and flinches. He scrubs at it like he's trying to fling a hot coal from his skin, but it doesn't budge. I resist the urge to laugh. Aw, looks like a deep stain.
I guess I was clumsy with my lunch today. It was, Spaghetti. Spaghetti sauce.
I don't think it was spaghetti sauce. You should use a napkin next time.
Have a good night, Sheriff Wright.
As he leaves, I enjoy a feeling of smug satisfaction. Then I remember everything else. They want to set August free. I'm scared to look at him right now, but what choice do I have? Sure enough, he's leaning on the wall of his cell, smiling like a cat who just ate a mouse.
Interesting pair, those two. I think they're lovers.
But they're brother and sister.
Some people get off on taboos.
Yeah. I'm sure you'd know, because you're totally a criminal and you totally did those murders, maybe. Steeling myself, I walk slowly to his cell. I rest my hand on my gun, quite pointedly. What did you say to her?
Nothing of consequence. I simply have a way with women when inspiration strikes.
If they really manage to let you out...
They will.
And you so much as lay a hair on the wrong side of the law...
I very much look forward to seeing what you'll do. In the meantime, I'd like to get some sleep, if you don't mind.
I am the law!
I'm exhausted. I didn't sleep at all last night, remember? And who knows where I'll be sleeping tomorrow. This cell has its issues, but at least there's peace and quiet.
Feeling sick to my stomach, I'm suddenly eager to go home myself, though I doubt I'd get any sleep.
Oh, and Sheriff?
What?
That stain on his jacket was definitely blood.
I know, right? Come on, Sheriff Law.
Oh, welcome home, Erika.
Oh. Hi, Stacy.
I reckon you had an awful day. I heard about Jessica and Gary. People at the dollar store wouldn't stop talking about it.
That is a cute outfit. Really? That's good. The more people know, the sooner we'll find something. Did you hear any theories as to where they might be?
Well, now, I tried to pay attention for you. I really did. But most people prattled on about Jessica and Gary enraging the good Lord or some such. With their lustfulness, I guess.
How dare teens be in love?
I don't agree with them either. Why would God ever punish two people for loving each other? I mean, as long as it's still natural and all. Man and woman.
Stacy, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this, but I'm gonna need you to get out. There's the door. Get out. Stacy's comment bothers me, but I'm not sure how to reply. What's natural? Why would any love deserve punishment? Do I smell steak?
You sure do. Ross butchered one of his cows just a couple days ago. I got a piece just for you. I figured you might need it on a day like this.
I'm sorry, Stacy, but I'm starting to hate you more than I hate Miss Ohohojo-sama over there. I'm gonna side with a purple-haired, clearly a vampire lady. For that one comment alone. I'm sorry, there's no coming back from that, Stacy. I told you, you don't have to cook for me, Stacy. But I really appreciate it.
It's no trouble, Erika. You deserve all the help you can get at a job like yours.
She's probably just brainwashed like most people in this town.
You just wait right here, and I'll go get you a plate.
Also, why are you in my house? Why do I live with you? You're my assistant? What? Who are you? I don't have the strength to argue, so I gratefully obey. Soon enough, she returns with a delicious hunk of meat with a side of beans and bread. Ooh. You're a godsend, Stacy.
Well, God sends us everything, I figure.
Without further ado, I dive into my food, and then it hits me. A memory, clear as crystal, flashing in my eyes like the past seeping into the present. Is this a detective brain blast? I hear a clatter. I must have dropped my fork on the table.
Erika? Erika, you alright?
I take a moment to close my eyes and steady my breath. I am not all right. When I open my eyes again, my vision ripples with moisture. I'll be fine. I'm just a little out of sorts today.
Can I get you anything? Maybe an aspirin, or maybe a...
Totally didn't meet a vampire today. No, Stacy, you've done enough. Thank you. I force another breath. I feel my muscles trembling. Today was my father's birthday.
Oh.
He used to cook me steaks sometimes. Said it was good for the blood, whatever that's supposed to mean.
I'm so sorry. If I had known...
Please don't apologize. You've done so much for me. I'm very grateful.
You said your father was a military man? Isn't that right?
Yes.
Tell me about him.
Tell her more? Move on? I want that lore. His name was Barry. People would describe him as being tough as nails. He got hit by a truck once. Then he stood back up and said his only wound was his stubbed toe.
My word.
I used to think his heart was as tough as his body. I thought nothing could put a scratch on it. But one day my mother showed up, completely without warning.
Your mother? Were they divorced?
My mother left us when I was 4. She told us she hated moving all the time for Dad's work. But I think what she really hated was me.
No mother hates her child.
Some mothers kill their children, Stacy.
That right there is the work of the devil.
Or a psychological thing that I can't remember the name of. Anyway, I didn't see her for most of my life. Then on my 14th birthday, she showed up to give me a present. Told me she missed me and thought of me every day. The whole time she visited, Dad had a blank expression on his face. He hardly spoke a word. Meanwhile, I was so confused. I felt dizzy. One moment I wanted to laugh and jump for joy. The next I wanted to cry. I thought I must be weak or crazy. That night, I heard something strange in the distance. I found Dad crying in the kitchen and drinking whiskey. When I walked in, we both froze for a minute. Then he motioned me over. He hugged me, and we both cried. Somehow in that moment, I was incredibly happy and sad all at once. Does that sound possible to you?
That sounds very possible to me, Erika.
I miss him so much.
Well, I bet he's still out there, putting up a fight against those demons.
Demons?
The demons devouring the rest of the world. The ones we're protected from in here.
Do you really believe that, Stacy?
Well, I don't know if I believe it in the literal sense. I don't know if there are monsters prowling around with wings and horns and such.
I mean, there is that thing that totally wasn't a bear.
Then again, folks have seen some strange things since the contingency. Silhouettes of monsters roaming beyond the towers. Who's to say what form they've taken? I do believe the devil has taken the earth. That big storm marked his arrival. And those of us here in Bataille are some of the few people saved by God's grace. Zachary was saved for a time. Then God decided it was time for him to move on. So he led my brother through the gates. I know you're not a believer, Erika, but doesn't that thought give you comfort? Don't you think that maybe God saved us?
Not really. I suspect there's much more rational explanations than a supernatural being from heck coming to our planet.
That's so. Like what?
Like maybe this is an elaborate experiment conducted by someone very rich and very powerful. Hey, we just happen to have someone who fits both those bills.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Human beings have done worse, Stacy. Yes, terrible. No divine purpose, no omniscient God deciding what to do, just humans being cruel to each other.
Then my brother died for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Well, he furthered the experiment. He died confirming that none of us can escape with a head on our shoulders. What if I don't have a head? What's them towers gonna do if I detach my head and I'm carrying it in my arms? It's like, what now? What you gonna do? Sorry, Stacy.
You're wrong.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree on this one.
I should let you finish your meal in peace.
Why are you in my house?
You let me know if you need anything, all right?
I will. Thank you, Stacy. Plot's getting too thick. Okay, well, I think I want to stop right here. Like I just said, plot's getting too thick. Too thick. I mean,
Just because you see somebody on the cover who has really long fangs doesn't mean you're in for vampires. I mean, who knows? But there was definitely blood on that man's shirt. They were definitely trying to glamour me or something. And I get the sinking feeling that everything Austin is saying is the truth. Maybe not that Russian spy love child thing, but I have the feeling that we should trust Austin. Watch it in future chapters, I'll be completely wrong, and Austin was exactly who we said he was, and Erika will be like, I was right! So I assume in this chapter we're gonna meet Madeline in chapter 2, our partner that was assigned by the Batailles. But can we trust Maddie? And I definitely think we should see what's going on with this church, because there seems like a foul feet afoot.
It's not my feet, I just washed them! No.
But let me know what you think of this game. I really like the voice acting and the story so far, and it's nice to walk around in a 3D space for a little while sometimes. But let me know in the comments what you think about this game. And if you would like to see some more really cool visual novels, feel free to peruse the rest of my channel. And don't forget to like, subscribe, or interact in any way that's comfortable for you, as we're trying to make it to 100,000 subscribers. But we'll have to see what's going on in Battaille later on, but for right now, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Take care of yourself, have a great night, and remember, there is always hope.